Hello there. What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all are having a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hope your weekend was great. We're going to do a quick weekend or end of week wrap up, a little rapid fire action on some price action for cryptos. A couple things to talk about, a couple very important things actually. The Pi cycle top hit the threshold, so that's an interesting point for that, but let's go ahead and just get right into it and we'll touch on that here in a little bit. So Bitcoin, here's Mama Bear. One thing, missed the video yesterday. Something I did want to mention though, one thing that I realized that on that nice daily close for Friday, that technically, while it was Friday, it did make the close because, Bitcoin doesn't close until later. The daily is about like 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think, now with the time change. And so, with that said, technically, this rally that happened, let's just zoom in a lot. This rally that happened right at the end of the day to make it really, really sexy action was technically after the traditional market close. So that was kind of interesting to me, and you can see it just went sideways for the whole weekend, just range bound, nothing really exciting, but it did make lower highs and lower lows over the weekend. And usually weekend price action sucks and is BS anyway, so that just dawned on me yesterday. I was like, man, we actually started rallying really hard after regular market session and then didn't get any follow through and it was total BS. So I'm not sure if that's super. I want to lean like that's a little bit more bearish, but it's a little early to tell. You can see that the 3 hour consolidator right here above the threshold, which was looking nice, but since it was the weekend, it's just kind of like it doesn't matter as much. Price action on the weekend is pretty lame. And now you're getting a sell-off here as we come into today, right before futures open, which is here in about 45 minutes. And so technically this is okay, but you are getting the rollover on the short term, and you do have this little cup. Now, can it build like this little inverted head and shoulders type pattern right here? Yeah, it totally could be working on something like that. And then like a measured move on that guy would be just right up to previous all-time highs. So nothing really too crazy on that, on my perfect head and shoulders drawing there. But it's definitely noteworthy that this is already getting rejected as the futures are about to open. Okay, so, but as long as it's holding this 53.5-ish level right here with the mama, and you could even give it a little bit of extra room at 52-ish 5, but 53.5 probably breaks this structure down. And on the crack time frames, which I don't like to look at very often, but sometimes they do, they are relevant. And I think right now is one of those times. Because you can see as, and especially not so much on the short term, I don't care about those, but I do care about the long-term moving averages on the 7-minute. And you can see here over the last day, we just rounded out and rolled over, and now we have all the EMAs pointing straight down underneath this 56-ish thousand zone. To me, that is showing that there's definitely some overhead supply, some very serious supply up here in this mid 50K range. Now, does that get follow through? We have to wait for some more time to go by. Anything back below this little tail at 54.5-ish probably breaks this down. And then that would probably get us to the 53.5 area that we just previously spoke on as major kind of support in this with the mama here and this little left shoulder, if you want to call this an inverted head and shoulders. So it's okay. That would probably get us there, but that really is the line in the sand. You can look back and see these tails, this little cluster, this tail here on this potential left shoulder. I mean, it's a little early to call that because we still don't even really have the right I mean, it's sloppy as hell. I would more consider this building possibly the right shoulder, but it would have to get the reaction. But I mean, yeah, patterns are just kind of funny like that. But horizontals right now are trumping everything, so you can see all this support right here at about in the mid 53,000 area. Very critical that we hold there. And kind of being held by this trend line too on top of the horizontal. So that's, I mean, that is noteworthy, most definitely. Weekly, the weekly is kind of going to be like whatever. I've got 2.5 hours roughly. We'll have to see how that closes, but if it closes anything like this, it's a whatever burger. To even get this to mean more, it's going to have to either dump a lot in the next few hours or pump a lot over like 58,000 for it to give us any kind of clue. But right as it sits now, it's just kind of a nothing burger. Let's go look over here real quick. Orbit chain, see a coin, man. There's a couple decent movers. Nothing too crazy though. Not like yesterday and Friday, late Friday. There were some real big pumps. But yeah, we're not really seeing that today. Let's go to Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. Look at Ethereum on the 3 hour looks worse than Bitcoin. Look at the price come right up to the long-term moving averages, and now it's starting to roll over. It's in a similar posturing. Not quite. I mean, I guess this is some type of inverted head and shoulders. I don't know. This shit is crazy. You have like this one over here, and then this type of topping pattern, and then now it's possibly doing another reversal bottoming pattern. I don't know. This shit is very confusing and frustrating, and sometimes you just gotta be like, I don't know on lower time frames. On higher time frames, it still looks okay, but there is major support at about 1620, 1630. Which puts us close to this trend line too, but it is threatening to pump more down to the downside. DMI has gone bearish again on this candle at the same time as RSI, so bears are pretty strong on this candle right here for Ethereum. I would actually lean, damn, on the I might lean a little bit bearish on this just as long as we're below still that 1740-ish area that we've been watching. You can see that that has been very noteworthy, that mid 1700s. So until we're really above that, I don't like this formation here. Litecoin, same thing. Didn't even have enough strength to get up to the 200. This is a very ugly chart. This is a super bearish chart. Let's see, same kind of same trend line ish right here. But that it's not even the trend. You don't even need the trend line to see kind of the lower highs, lower lows, and how bearish this is. I mean, it's on the last line in the sand pretty much right here at about 180. I think anything back below 180. I mean, at this point, probably even wicking into the 170 handle is going to get further downside on this guy. It does not look very good. Let's go to crack time frames. Yeah, you're getting them all open and down. I mean, hey, maybe it gets a little pump right here, but I don't know, man. I do not like to take longs or shorts when you have all the EMAs stacked like that, and they're even kind of stacked right above it. Sort of like Ethereum's, just weaker, because this looks like it probably failed at the 6182 of this small move. Yeah, look at that, right on the money. So it failed right on that. So that's definitely not strength. Anything back below 175. I think 180 does it at this point, but definitely anything back below this horizontal at 175, I don't think it will cluster like this. If it does test it one more time, I think that will be the breakdown of it. Ripples, ripple me nipples. Ripple me some garlic bread. Ripple still looks okay on the daily and the higher time frames, and the weekly too. Actually, it looks pretty good on DMI. RSI sucks on Ripple's weekly chart. On the daily though, it looks okay. Actually, let me take that back. It looks pretty damn good on the daily. You got the test and the opening EMAs. You got strength on both oscillators. It would be nice to see the bears get pushed back down a little bit and not kind of hover right in the neutral zone or on the bottom end of the neutral zone. But I mean, as long as this thing is above like 48, 46 to 48 cents. It's not too crazy. But this is one of the big movers, I believe, on Friday. Yeah, this pump that happened. So, I mean, this is a really aggressive slope. And like we've talked about on this channel a few times, when they're really aggressive like this, I don't like them as much. They're less reliable because it's just too much too fast. It's better when they like slow grind and have some pullbacks in it, maybe like this or, kind of like this one where it's more 45-degree in instead of like this. You can see that just straight up, it came mostly straight down. Found a base eventually, but so that's one concerning thing. And a 618 is probably lining up right about with the MAs right here. Yeah, right on top of them, about 50 cents. And I'm splitting the tails on these, so if you take it to the very bottom, it's like right in the middle of them. So just roughly 50 cents on that guy. Yeah, I don't know. It looks okay. Something's a little odd about the Bitcoin price action already kind of giving it up. I do hope that it turns into like an inverted head and shoulders just for more upside. It's easier to trade in a bull market, but yeah, we just kind of have a little bit of warning signs. Yeah, XLM giving it all up. And we're not in chronological order, even though it almost looks like it. For me, you can do the colors however you want, but for me, it's teal, yellow, then orange, and then the mama. And then the dotted ones, I make them dotted so I can easily differentiate them from the shorter term time frames. I don't know, that's just a personal preference. You can do however you want, obviously, right? 38 cents is a major support on this, but this is pretty sloppy. I'd like it better if the EMAs were in order, but they're not. So it kind of sucks, and you do have major resistance here. And thus far, it's just another lower high, too, with the lower low attached to it. So not really that sexy, man. What's the weekly looking like? The weekly looks okay. It has lost momentum on the RSI, though. So it's all right. Definitely, on the weekly, it can go to probably about 32 cents without damaging structure. But yeah, I think, anything back below 37, probably even 38-ish on the lower time frames, that's really what it looks like. Anything back below, 38, more like, I guess, upper 37s, but whatever. That'll probably get us some rollover. What gets us to the upside, any close back above the 40-cent level, and preferably a few candles above it too, because it looks like this thing is just getting rejected on any of the pumps for the last week or so. Actually, even longer, even back here. So yeah, the pumps are getting dumped on real hard. So I would want to see at least a few candles close above 40 cents to kind of get that bull boner going. DOT, this is terrible. This is a bearish reset on DOT almost, especially if a few more hours or a few more candles go by and we get the 10 simple back below the 21 yellow. Yeah, that's going to be a bearish reset. This kind of already smells like that. Daily has been broken over here. Yeah, so not great. Link is showing the same thing. A lot of these candles that just closed from the 1 o'clock to what is it, the 1 o'clock? No, that's when it closed at 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. So it would be the 10 to 1 o'clock candles. So the midday candles that closed today, the lunchtime candles and the 3 hour, a lot of them don't look good. They kind of they're making them look more like bearish resets. So that's very concerning. ADA is probably one of the better charts right now, which is funny. As long as it's holding this previous resistance support zone flipped many times at around 116, 115, it looks okay. And it is providing some support. Excuse me, and is providing some upside support on the mama here too. So only got, what is that, another couple of days roughly before it eventually inevitably meets with the mama average. But again, pretty sloppy. There's not much edge to have on this. Pretty quick rejection off of this pump too, which was on Friday as well. So, I mean, I guess real default, hold a gun to my head, as it's 116, above 116. I'm slightly bullish, but I am concerned about the majors, though. being Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. I know Litecoin isn't like a big top market cap coin, but I do think it's important as one of the majors. It looks like bearish reset too on Bitcoin Cash, so that's pretty ugly. I don't like anything about this chart at all. So very, very nasty. It looks like it's just a relief bounce off of this very, very quick dump, which you get a lot of. You get off of brutal dumps like this, especially when they match up with previous range lows. You will get a little reaction buying off of it. We'll see if this turns into that rollover, though. It definitely looks like it. Let's go to weekly. Yeah, weekly still looks okay. But, of course, the weekly on most of these coins is going to look all right. Kind of ugly pattern on the daily, too. And, yeah, I mean, you got the 200s right underneath it. I mean, they're not making it easy right now. The market is not making this easy at the moment. So I guess as long as this thing's holding above 450, it's all right. But I'm leaning more bearish on this unless it gets back above. It really needs to get back above 550, which has been the same with these videos for, I mean, probably a week now. Once it broke back down over here, we've been just looking. I mean, if it can't get above 550, it's bearish bias on the medium time frames. BSV had a nice bounce off of here, but it's kind of resetting into bears a little bit too, losing the momentum on the RSI, starting to lose it on the 3 hour. Not confirmed by any means though. Still filling out the damn triangle, so there you go. So right in the middle of the freaking triangle range, pretty much. I mean, as long as it's holding 194, it's okay. I might let go of some of my BSV that I scooped up over here. I'm going to wait for futures to open up here in a little bit and see what happens on those. But, yeah, kind of shitty follow-through. That weekend price action. You got to be careful. This is an interesting pattern. This is kind of like a flag here, sort of. A very high and tight bull flag. Whoops. Yeah, that's a odd. That's a super tight one. So this actually looks a little bit better. You got right sandwiched between the long-term EMAs, but they are in chronological order though, still somehow in this short manner. But no momentum though. I mean, oscillators are really close. They're right on the threshold at 26, but you know, I mean, horizontals are almost easier to play right now. The oscillators are being super snaky and sloppy. So as long as like 420 has been holding this biatch for a long time, so we're just gonna keep sticking with that 420 level. Anything below 420ish, right around there, it's just not. That's just not bullish on the medium time frames and low time frames. On the weekly, it looks pretty awesome. I do like this weekly setup. How about a 3-day? Yeah, 3-day doesn't look good. The weekly still looks okay. So we've had enough time almost to where the weeklies are still looking good on a lot of these coins, but now the day, like up to even 2 and 3 day time frames, it's starting to look a little sloppy, so that kind of sucks. Means bears are kind of doing a decent job at creeping in. Yeah, I mean, this needs a few candle closes above 420, and you can see that's happened a couple times. Like right here, it got it, ended up doing a little small pump, but immediate rejection. And we had a few up here with almost a pump, and then also immediate rejection. So, that 420 to 430 area, there's some mad sellers up on there. Monero. Well, shnikes. Look at Monero. Still below that 240 area that we've been watching like a hawk for a hot minute. I do like these EMAs, though, to be very straightforward. This actually, I mean, you got all of them. I think we were talking about this on Friday. They're all within like, what was it, like 2% or something of each other? Yeah, like not even 2% of each other. And yeah, so I mean, there's major support right here on that 220 area for Monero. But again, you already got this little doji spinny top. Now that doesn't imply downside, but it is indecision, and to have it right after there, maybe it just needs to digest because we just did get a new candle starting to print 30 minutes ago. And there's a lot of business done right around here, so that's not too crazy for indecision candle to print. Again, though, sub 240, I just can't get super bullish, but it does have some pretty nice setup on the 3 hour, to be fair. The 3 hour is showing major support at 220, 218. So that's kind of nice. One of the better ones we've been looking at. Looks like privacy coins, except for Dash, at least that are on this list, having a decent day. Very neutral on Zcash. Weekly still looking all right, although this one weekly is about to come out of the trend line. Major resistance right where we're at right now, though, at 140. And anything, a few candle closes above 140 probably gets us to the underbelly of this trend line with a target around like 155-ish. But got a lot of work to do because we are right at that threshold with lots and lots of supply at this 140 level. Dash kind of looking like a bearish reset. I did nibble some Dash on this low over here, but I got rid of all of it this weekend just because not really liking this rollover thing, and I'm a little concerned with Bitcoin's chart, and we're about to go look at something that makes me a little bit more concerned also about Bitcoin's chart that we spoke about a few videos ago. So now Doge on the 3 hour looks pretty shitty because everything is sloped down now. Every time moving average is all sloped down on a 3 hour. This is the ugliest that Doge has looked in a while, and it's even on the threshold of breaking the 55 daily, which hasn't happened since its pump back in January. So very noteworthy. Doge is kind of, it does like to dip into these mid-low 90s and get bid up real fast, so hopefully that happens again for the bulls, but right now it is in a pretty negative posturing on the EMAs. How about the dollar? Dollar pairing isn't as bad. Pretty good support right here. Again, like in the low fives. Seems to be kind of its lower end of the range. And we are getting the MACD pushing up. And this is reverse MACD, this step line. And then also the Mama's curling up here. So, but man, I think any body close below 5.2 cents, this thing is probably going to start going down pretty fast. Daily doesn't look as bad on dollar pair though, so that's nice to see, but very, very neutral. 3 hours gone neutral. Weekly, again, see, so this one's proven it. We're like neutral up, neutral or bearish is creeped into most of these coins again up to 3-day charts, but weeklies are barely holding on. I've actually given just enough time for the short-term moving averages to catch up. So we will be getting resolution pretty damn soon, I think, across the board. All right, I think that was it for that. I just wanted to go talk about one more thing real quick, and it is the pi cycle, which we've been talking about. And look what happened in the last day. We have broke the 80 threshold. We have done it. That's not what we wanted to see. That's not what we wanted to see. That is not sexy. I don't like that in any way. I do not like pi cycle percentages closing below 79 in any shape or form. Or below 80, really. Because it's technically not below 79. But, yeah, so this is interesting. And, yeah, there's been pumps. Like, we went through the videos before, and we went back to, back in time to each one of these cycles. And the most notable one of a large pump after it hit the 80% threshold was, what is this? Crap. It was around in these clusters. So it still did have about a 25-30% move. So I don't remember what the average is. Most of them have actually been like right on. I mean, 20-30%, that's nothing. I think it was like right back over here. I think this cluster. Yeah, so it's like one of these two candles here. This one called it like perfectly, even with the 80%, just went sideways. The the slope line, the cyan line ended up coming. That's where the cycle top will print, is when candles close over that guy. And this is the biggest one. This is the most notable outlier. So 70 is one of these two candles here, or I'm sorry, 80-ish. And so we'll just kind of split them, and it ended up running almost 100% after that move. So, yeah, very noteworthy. But you can see, like we talked about the other day, it did end up having some 75% down single day. Shortly after that. And also the time frame is important on this too. All of the rollovers have happened within like 10, 11 days from just the 80% mark. So if it wants to follow the biggest outlier and we got crazy and pumped up, 100%, putting us right around the $100,000-ish level, give or take 10K, just kind of being loose with it. That would be super crazy. It could totally happen, though, because that has had a similar signature. And though it's 10 days from here. But what's crazy is 10 days from here is only, first into the first week of April. And so technically it would actually have to, I think maybe 13 days. We'll just say 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. And so technically, yeah, it would almost rally to 120. Which would be crazy. If we start seeing that, I'm going to be real nervous if this thing just starts blowing to the upside. I'm going to start getting real nervous about downside coming to you very soon. So we just keep a very close eye on that. This thing has always called the tops. Now, not to the T, but more times than not it has. And it's just very noteworthy that it's within a couple of weeks that price action plays out. So again, though, we're not quite there yet. We still got, futures going to be opening soon. This week should be pretty interesting of price action. You just have a couple of nasty things starting to build up on the lower time frames. And so let's see how kind of futures open up. As long as the market isn't dumping in on its face, we probably will be okay. Probably. But there are a couple of warning signs, and they are not just some BS warning signs. So, at least not in my opinion, obviously. Let's go to a monthly real fast. And monthly still looks fine. Nothing really on the monthly to see. Except, no, nothing on the monthly really to see. Just bullish as hell. Weekly. Yeah, just whatever. Not really anything to see on the weekly either. I mean, it's just kind of just bullish. But, yeah, so let's see. As long as we're holding this 43.5 area, let's get it in for the bulls. And really got to close a few candles, I think, above 57,000-ish. And then that probably will lead us to new highs, at least a test of the previous high. And, yeah, Ethereum has continued to look sick for a while, and it's kind of showing that here. Ethereum and Litecoin have just been looking the worst. So let's see what this week's of price action brings us. And I'll be signing off here. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a live stream. Or possibly, actually, I might have to do a static video. I think I'm going to go camping, actually, for a couple of days early this week before it gets too damn hot. So I might just do a static video because I'll be on, phone, internet, and stuff like that. So I'll probably just do a static video. If I can squeeze in a live video, I will definitely do so. But as of right now, we'll probably just do static. But yeah, so let's hold this 53.5-ish area on BD Bitcoins, Mama Bear, and on Ethereum. Let's also hold the 1620, 1630-ish area. That would be nice and sexy. And if we can do that, we probably will work our way to the upside. But man, losing that, I think this will get very ugly. So be careful. I have thinned out again after this close today. I did not like that at all. So I thinned out a little bit of some of the stuff I bought late last week just because, it had decent relief bounces off of there, but I don't know if they're that sustainable. And we brought that up on the channel too, that like these aren't hodl entry positions, because we don't see something saying, hey, on the low time frames, we don't see something saying, hey, re-enter here as a long-term hodl. Now, I hope that we do get those, but right now, don't have them yet. Awesome. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow, and have an awesome rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday before the lovely work week starts. Much love. It's been Z-Rex with No Noiz. It's your boy signing off. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.